I'm not surprised that people think you become boring when you become a Christian. Most Christians on telly are usually prim and proper, namby-pamby,
Not really. Maybe in the UK they are. Over here in America, most Christians are most Christians on telly are pretty crazy and rambunctious. And like, yay, praise Jesus! Whoa, wooga lugga booga! I'll cure your cancer! You know?
party poopers who are badly dressed with no sense of humour. Now, presumably, if you were boring before you became a Christian, chances are you'll be boring once you're a Christian, but it's not compulsory. Let's think about three things.
All right.
Firstly, let's think about God.
All right.
You've only got to look around creation.
Thinking about
to
it.
see the beauty, the variety, the colour.
Wow.
Think about Niagara Falls or the human eye.
Niagara Falls or the human
Look,
eye.
yeah,
God is
totally-
real, don't ask why.
I totally see it now.
Yeah.
I looked at Niagara Falls and the human eye.
You've been to Niagara Falls.
Yeah, you
You
know
look
what?
at those falls. Do you believe in God, Scotty? You do?
Now that I've considered, I totally believe in God.
It makes sense to
I'm
me.
a devout believer now. I've been convinced.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
Yeah, we're totally
Build
convinced.
platypuses, bottoms. Now, the God who created those things,
Well, I want to think
Bottoms?
about the platypus's bottoms.
Was platypuses and bottoms two separate things? Or were you talking
Or
about
some-
platypuses bottoms?
Or the ass of the platypus.
Platypats?
I don't really think about
Quite-
platypus ass very much personally, but to each their own. Maybe you're not as boring as
Yeah, you don't.
other Christians.
Maybe you're not that boring.
frankly, cannot be boring. In the Bible, it says that God richly provides us with everything for our enjoyment. So, life with God,
And then he forbids you from doing any of it.
the God who loves enjoyment,
The best part of reality is you can't do anything fun.
God provides you with everything you need for enjoyment, hard work, back-breaking labor, misery, a bowl of gruel, what to eat. What more do you want?
Suffering?
You've got cancer. It's like God provides.
I always thought that showing something gets cancer, they like a movie or something. God's testing you.
Yeah,
What? God is testing me?
He's testing
God's a
you.
fucking asshole, dude. So God knows whether I'm going to make it or not and just wants to test me. And sometimes the test is just like, no, you're just going to suffer and die. But I just had a baby. Yeah, God doesn't really give a shit. He knew that you were going to have cancer and doesn't care and just wants to take your life away anyways.
isn't going to be more boring than life without him. And then there's a second thing. You might say, yeah, if this God loves enjoyment, why so many rules? I mean,
Yeah.
rules
Good point.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, you get to answer that.
are boring. But are they?
Yep.
Just think of your DVD player. It comes with the maker's instructions. They're there for your good, so you can get the most out of your machine. And it's the same with God's rules. He doesn't make rules to sort of crush us, to hold us in. He makes rules so that we can live in his world, his way, and enjoy the things that he's made.
Oh,
so that we can-
whoa, no.
Where's the evidence of that?
No, beyond that, most Christian scholars argue, when we talk about the concept of sin, the reason we're able to sin is because we have free will. So you're saying that God gives us rules, but we also have free will. So which one is it?
Well, we have free will, but we should use it to follow rules.
Oh, we should use it to follow rules, so then we can't really do what we want.
Yeah.
So basically, we're divinely
I love-
divinely boxed in, is what you're saying.
I love how life is compared here to a DVD. Like, oh, the DVD has rules. Like, what are the rules of the DVD? Like, yeah, there's like limitations, I guess, but like most of the times, like, okay, so like if I decide I'm gonna fucking upload the DVD to the internet and other people are gonna download it and for free or whatever, or we're gonna stream it somewhere or something, against the licensing, that's breaking the rules, but people would rather get the movie for free. So that's not harming their enjoyment of the movie. They're not like, oh, I didn't pay for this movie, so I enjoy it less. No, like, these rules aren't made for enjoyment.
No.
You can't, I mean, like, okay, maybe she's got a specific example.
can enjoy our relationships, that things don't get ruined. His world doesn't get ruined. Really, God's rules are to help us enjoy
Why would
life,
God's...
not to make
well, it's
it boring.
irrelevant.
Give us an example of that.
But here's the thing. So God's world doesn't get ruined. It's God. He can change the world back to any state he wants, anytime.
Yeah.
So
Well, that would violate free will.
There's no ruining the world for God.
Third thing to think about, what was Jesus like? I mean, this was God's son living
And they really pushing that Jesus on here.
What was
in
Jesus like?
God's world, God's.
Okay, so I still got problems with the whole like the rules. I mean, like, okay, some rules I can see how they can contribute to human enjoyment, like don't murder each other. Because yeah, I don't want to get murdered. I don't know anyone who does. You know, no one wants to fucking just be walking down the street and someone shoots him in the head or something.
But you don't need any sort of religion to come to that conclusion.
Right. But I mean, like, I can see at least how that rule provides for enjoyment. But like, you know, how is something like, I mean, let's just go look at the fucking 10 Commandments, right? Just go through them.
I mean, some of them are plainly
So let's just-
are anti-competitive in terms of thought. You know,
So hold on, let's just go through
idolatry.
These are the main things that Christians put as the rules. So rule number 1, these are. Let's just look at these from a perspective of: is this increasing my enjoyment? I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other. Not have any strange gods before me.
So it's like a non-compete clause right there. Like, oh, look, I'm God. I ain't competing with your other. I'm not competing with fucking.
Don't be worshiping no Vishnu or none of that bullshit. I'm the one true God. So that seems like it's something that's just for the sake of God. That doesn't seem like it's designed to increase my enjoyment. I might enjoy worshiping one of the other gods. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. I'm pretty sure I have fun every time I say God damn it.
Yeah, I mean,
sometimes I'm not having fun at that moment.
And taking God's name in vain, what's the big deal? He's God.
Yeah, I mean, like, what does he care? It seems kind of petty. Doesn't really seem like it's contributing to my enjoyment at all. Remember to keep holy the Sabbath day. That doesn't sound fun.
And how am I keeping it holy? Like, what do you want me to do to keep it holy?
Usually that means not working on that day, which that's kind of cool. But
I mean, I'm down with that.
But instead, you got to go to church and like worship and suck his almighty dick.
Look,
for fucking,
I can do
like,
the
3
not work
hours or
part
however.
and be lazy part, but I can't do the church attendance thing. It's just too much.
Honor thy father and mother. Kind of depends on the kind of father and mother you have, right?
What if they're abusive pieces
Yeah,
of
like
shit?
what if they like molested you and stuff? Like you still have to honor them then, or is there like a no, you know?
What if they're crazy
unless they're
and
crazy
controlling?
or whatever? Not every father and mother deserves to be honored, and some people would not enjoy having to do that because their parents were horrible.
Yeah. Not to mention the penalty the Bible ascribes to you if you don't do that is you should be taken outside of the town and stoned to death.
Thou shalt not kill. I think that contributes to enjoyment.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes it would be fun to murder some people, but on the flip side, it's not fun to get murdered or to know someone who gets murdered.
Yeah, so it's a good rule.
So I think it's a good rule overall. Thou shalt not commit adultery. That can certainly lead to some misery.
It can, but I mean, a lot of times,
other times, if you get away with it, it doesn't.
and
It just
sometimes
leads to
people-
pleasure.
And there's people that engage in adultery as a practice, and everyone is consensually engages in adultery, so it can lead to actual enjoyment and pleasure.
So that's not a hard and fast rule. But I think overall, keeping your relationship together and not ruining it is probably a good idea.
But that's not what it says. It says just don't be adulterous.
Thou shalt not steal. Yeah, I think that's mostly solid. I mean, sometimes I want to steal. Everybody's like, man, that'd be cool to have that. But
I think stealing for a lot of people is contingent upon who you're stealing from and what you're stealing.
that's true.
If you're stealing a movie from a major company, people don't really care about stealing. If you're taking fucking food out of the mouth of a baby that's about to starve to death, I think people care a lot more about that. And
Right.
say,
So I
"You're a
mean,
piece of shit."
there's some nuance there.
Or someone's
but overall, though, I'd say theft is bad. You don't want to be stolen from.
yeah, I would say the concept that people don't like stealing.
Thou
get
shalt
that.
not bear false witness against thy neighbor. I think that one holds
That's-
up.
that's
You
a
wouldn't
pretty-
want someone lying about you.
Yeah. Well,
thou
I mean, we look at the Bernie and Elizabeth Warren thing.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife.
Oh, come on.
I mean, yeah, like don't be human.
I mean,
basically.
look.
I mean, like, who could even
fucking here? What do you want me to fucking do, man?
Who could even control something like that? Like,
Yeah. What if you live next door to like a Brazilian model or something that's just known for fucking taking pics of her ass every day and just sits out like you're not
sits
supposed
outside in the backyard sunning herself or
yeah,
something.
I mean, yeah, maybe she's married to some fucking Brazilian fucking steroidal dude. I mean, of course you're gonna be like, damn, I want to bang that. I mean,
But we're not even talking about doing anything. We're talking about a thought. It's
yeah,
like
so I'm
this is
saying just
thought
coveting
crime.
that. Yeah, I mean,
This is just being like in your heart, being like, God damn,
I mean,
most titties.
I mean, most fucking people are guilty of that.
Yes.
Everyone's been guilty of looking at someone going, damn.
And the other one is thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, which same deal. Like, so what?
you're gonna
You look over at your neighbor's fucking car or boat or whatever the fuck you want of his, and you're like, yeah, man, I wish I had that for myself. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, they got a big ass boat or some cool shit that you don't have. Of course, you're gonna be like, fuck, I want that.
I mean, these are just thought crimes. Like, how does that? It doesn't contribute to my enjoyment to not be allowed to fucking covet something.
it's basically saying like, don't fucking be jealous of your rich neighbor. So
Don't want anything. Fuck you, Bible.
yeah, it's like
That's not fun. That's not enjoyment.
What's like Peter's got 3 asses and 2 goats. It's like, of course you're gonna be jealous if all you got is a fucking goddamn like fucking broken down mule.
Yeah.
I mean, of course you're gonna be like, fuck, I want a couple goats. I want them to do some shit for me.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I don't see how that's. I don't see any of that. Some of that, I guess, contributes to overall enjoyment, but a lot of it doesn't, and a lot of it's pretty arguable.
Way. If life with God in it is boring, he's going to be really, really boring. But was he? Well, no. In fact, the complete opposite is true. People couldn't get enough of him. He got invited to parties with some really dodgy characters. Prostitutes, drunkards, tax collectors. Think big bonus banker. They loved being around him, and it wasn't because he behaved like them. No, he always lived by the Maker's instructions. It was because he loved them. He listened to them, and he wanted them to know what life with God as their Heavenly Father was like, and how life
Then they killed him. What is this nonsense? They loved him so. Oh, they couldn't get. Oh, that rapscallion Jesus, get over here. Oh, you love my new buddy Jesus. You know, it's like, but then at some point,
they nailed him to 2 pieces of wood and watched him fucking die.
and Jesus trying to rile up the Jews and the Roman, Pontius Pilate, off with his head, nail him to the cross. Like he went from a revered dinner party guest to nailed to the cross.
Yep.
But they loved him.
The rise and fall of Jesus Christ. No, I mean, like, yeah, was Jesus interesting? Sure. I mean, you don't have. I mean, like, he's obviously interesting.
And I mean, even
you
talking
don't build
about
you
this,
don't build a religion around someone that's boring. I mean, that just doesn't happen. No one's like, I worship Frank the accountant.
And then on the 5th day he said, "File thy taxes, and it shall be done." Come on.
The religion of the bureaucrats. Whatever. I mean,
thy red tape be true. No document shall be filed until it has been filled out in triplicate. It's like, what the fuck is this? No, it's just all these things. It's like so much has to
the
be
church of the massive deduction.
Yeah. The temple of the deduction.
This is like Ferengi religion at this point, but theirs is more interesting.
But so much of this is just you have to blindly buy into it. There's no real good reason to believe any of this. But even if you do, it's even if you do and you grant them, and you're so generous.
I want you to think about the target audience for this video. There's someone out there who's like, maybe I'll become a Christian, but I don't know. I don't want to be boring. It's like we're talking about supposedly the answers to all of life's questions here. So, like, are you really, like, aiming for that shallow, vapid person whose primary concern when faced with the eternal truth of the universe is, but won't I be boring then?
Yes.
I mean, like, that's how low you're aiming this video towards. You're basically trying to go for the shallowest, dumbest fucking person you possibly could go for with this fucking video.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Because they got money, too.
Yeah.
Fool,
you're exactly right. It's just, it's money and its influence and its power. And if you have enough fucking lemmings, it doesn't fucking matter that they're lemmings, which, by the way, is just a misnomer to begin with. But for illustrative purposes, if you have enough fucking dum-dums out there, it doesn't fucking matter. You don't give a shit. As long as they're giving you money and doing what they're told and fucking pushing the ideas you want pushed, they don't give a fuck who does it, as long as they're there doing it.
Rather than their sort of sordid, spoiled version of it. Jesus put it this way: I've come to give them life, and life to the full. Now, he doesn't mean that he's going to give us an easy life, but he does promise his followers a satisfying life.
Okay.
And there's more.
No.
He also promises that people...
Jesus may also, Jesus promised this and Jesus promised that. Why do we need Jesus to begin with? If God exists, why do we need God to create a loophole in his own system for us? We don't.
He got it wrong the first time. He's like, wait a minute. Oops. I made a mistake. Let me just try this Jesus thing.
But he fucking can't. According to their belief system, he can. He's perfect.
Well, I guess he planned it the whole time then.
Yeah, so it's like he planned, and the people that existed before they knew anything about God, I guess they're automatically saved. It's like there's so many fucking stupid inconsistencies with this, and it's like just to fucking to believe this and to be so concerned with something as shallow and vapid as if it's boring. I mean, I just agree with you. It's like if this is such a matter of such importance, that how can it possibly be fucking boring to somebody? If they have this question, would it be boring? What the fuck? If you think this is boring, they clearly don't give a shit to begin with, then why are you even asking the fucking question?
People who follow him in this life, once they die, they're going to be with him in his perfect
Citation
kingdom
fucking needed.
forever. You can't beat that. And he describes it like a party, like the very best party.
All right, so
he
wait,
doesn't describe like a party.
This just goes down. No, it's just all part of the same marketing scheme. She's making a video for the most vapid, boring people out there who are just like, ew, party. I want to go to party in heaven. Wow, that sounds awesome.
They think
a party that never ends. Boop, boop, boop.
You know what they think heaven is like? You know the movie This Is the End?
Yeah.
They think it's like the end scene of that movie. That's what they think. It's the Backstreet Boys fucking performing. Everything's white. Everyone's dressed in fucking.
Well, I don't even like parties, so this is doing the opposite for me.
But in heaven, you'll like the party.
Okay.
That's the one party you've ever been to.
That's the only party I'll like.
You'd be like, oh, I hate fucking parties. You get to heaven party. This is great.
This party, though, this one's legit. Fuck, I don't like no damn party. But I don't think I'm the target audience for that thing. I don't think I am at all.